So if you're like me and you like sleeping in the back of your rig and doing some tent camping and whatnot, because you don't have a roof mount tent and you just don't want one, I like the idea of them, but they're just not my style and they're just more money than I want to spend on one right now. So anyways, I like to sleep in my rig. See, the problem that I have though, and many 4Runner owners have, if you don't get the pull-out tray, you run into this issue. If you don't use an air mattress, you're looking at almost a 3-inch drop right here, which is extremely uncomfortable to try and sleep in. So, you have to figure out what you're gonna do. We have slept in it like this. It was miserable. We used small pads and you could feel that completely. It wasn't fun at all. If we'd known about the slide out tray, we probably would have got it, but we didn't, so this is what we ended up with. And here's how I solved this problem. So here's what I did. Insert this here. I haven't tossed this in yet. I've been working on it. I worked on it last night, but this is my setup for that canted back portion, and hopefully it works out. I got these measurements offline from someone else who did something similar. I'll try and find their links so that I can show you what I used as a reference and who actually came up with the idea as a main purpose, and then I kind of made this out of their stuff. But basically what I have is, this is about a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. It's 43 inches wide to fit in the width of the vehicle, and then 41 inches long from back to front to fit forwards and back in the vehicle. I have it covered up now. On this side, I have these are probably 2x4s, and I have them mounted on the bottom as bases. I use probably 1.5 inch screws, that way kind of held these on. And I have these separated up, one in the middle obviously, one about 2 inches from the side, that way it kind of has some gap for it to be able to sit in there correctly, and then just basically as support. From the back of the vehicle, which I believe is up here, yep, I'm pushed these forward 3.5 inches. So 2 inches on the side inwards, this one's just basically centered, and then these are 3 inches from the bottom, we'll call it the back of the vehicle, from the back of the vehicle to the starting point of this 2x4, and then it basically just went up from there. These are 33.5 inch long pieces of 2x4. That way it had room up here for where the front part actually starts to cant up. And then from there, this is already painted. I just had a black piece of wood that I used for another project, that Jeep project that I had. So I used that as a piece of wood. Yeah, I had this black fleece blanket lying around. These are like $3 at Walmart, usually on sale in wintertime. And so it was perfect for the top portion. So I literally didn't have to buy anything anyways to make this. So I had all the materials. I just needed a scrap piece of 3/4 inch plywood, some 2x4s, some nails, and this blanket right here. So this was free. It just took me a couple hours to build. Biggest thing was just measuring. So that's kind of how it's all set up. Let's test it out and toss it in. This should solve that problem though in the back. Okay, so here we got it. This is in there now. It fits like a glove. So that'll work out perfectly. I got a little bit of elevation. Overall, that's going to be a much flatter surface to sleep on than it was. I think this side may just be resting on something over here to make it a little bit more unlevel, but overall, that's, like I said, like a glove. It'll fit perfectly flush in there. Fits perfectly on each side, flush up front, and then it's resting on those 2x4s right there. Fits just perfectly along that back line. Fits perfect up here. I'd say that's pretty awesome. That's exactly what I want. So I can store everything on there. I'm actually really impressed with that.